little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So you guys, in today's reading, we are going to figure out exactly how he sees you. But of course, this video can be applied to any preference of yours. So whether you're a girl who likes girls or a boy who likes boys, my channel is all inclusive. But sometimes I will use they, he, or she just to simplify things. So in order to help you figure out exactly how they see you, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups. So the 4 groups are as follows. We have the orange calcite, we have the pyrite, we have the rose quartz, as well as the coffee obsidian. But as usual, you guys, the timestamps are down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section. And before I get into the readings, I just wanted to point out that I am an honest tarot reader. I do not create readings where I just tell people what they want to hear. But if you're here because you are okay with the truth and want to know exactly what is going on and how he sees you, then this is the right video for you. And if you're completely new to my channel and you appreciate this honest approach of mine, make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well as turn on the notification bell in order to be notified every time I post a new video, which is quite a few times a week. So as you guys know, we like to keep things efficient around here in the Unicorn fam. So I'm gonna get straight into the readings with the first group, which corresponds to the orange calcite, and to all the other groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the orange calcite, group number 1, which is a stone that is full of life, that is full of adventurous energy. So that may already be an indication of how he sees you. But let's move straight into your reading to figure out exactly what all the little details surrounding that are. So first and foremost, we have focus. So one thing that I see in focus, group number 1, is the fact that they see you as somebody who is very goal-oriented and somebody who is very focused. He sees you as somebody who sets their mind to do something and goes for it, regardless of what other people say, regardless of what kind of obstacles may be put in your way. Once you know that there is something that you want to do or accomplish, you go for it, and you do it in a way that is very unafraid. You do it in a way where other people just think to themselves, wow, I wish I had that kind of laser sharp focus. Then we have action. Okay, so this just ties in really beautifully with the orange calcite and just the fact that we just spoke about how he sees you as somebody who goes for it, you know, in action. It just shows that they see you as somebody who takes action, who doesn't hesitate to do things. And of course, you may think to yourself like, wow, that is so far from the truth. I am in fact a procrastination queen. And that is totally fine, but this is not about how you see you. This is about how they see you. So I just want you to know here that you appear to be somebody who is a go-getter. You appear to be somebody who is driven and who is ambitious, which is really great energy that people like to have around them. Then we have love. So you're obviously somebody who is very lovable to them, okay? You're obviously somebody who is attractive and somebody who is quote unquote a keeper, okay? He, she, they may see you as a potential romantic interest, and the fact that you're so driven can sometimes intimidate people, but it is also something that motivates others. So I want you to know in love that there is a lot of potential here for a romantic connection to be established, just because those feelings are already existent within your connection. Then we have forgiveness. Okay, one thing that I see here is the fact that he sees you as somebody who is able to let go of things. And you may think to yourself, oh my God, that is so far from the truth. I never let go of anything. Hello, hi, my fellow Cancerians or water signs. But I want you to know here that he sees you as somebody who is able to move on, able to take action, able to refocus, no matter what kind of obstacle may come towards you. So of course, that is a very different kind of moving on than being hurt emotionally. Obviously, if you're hurt emotionally, if somebody does you wrong and, you know, cheats, lies, whatever, that is a different forgiveness and a different moving on than hitting an obstacle on the way to your goals. So just wanted to point that out. Then we have the Emperor as well as the Devil. So one thing that I see here is the fact that this person sees you as a big temptation. This person finds you attractive, group number one. And in the Emperor, I see that they feel as though you're somebody who is very mature, you're somebody who is very powerful. So you may have a good position, say at your job, or you may be somebody who just overall has very high and big aspirations and you're not afraid to voice that. Or the energy that you exude is just very kind of like authoritative, is very, here I am and nobody can basically push me around. So you may even do this unintentionally. You may unintentionally be very attractive to them. And once again, you may not see yourself as attractive, but they see you as attractive. And that is what really matters, group number one. Don't sweat the small stuff. If you don't see yourself as all that big of a catch, okay, great, that's you. But in the dating world, it kind of seems as though you're kind of a big deal and kind of a good catch, okay? So that is what I see so far. Then we have Temperance as well as the Six of Swords. So one thing that I see here is that people definitely feel as though they have to kind of like temper themselves to not get too physical too quickly with you. That is one thing that I see in Temperance, okay? Physically, you're attractive. Physically, you're the kind of person where others just want to kind of already get closer to you. But one thing that I see here in the Six of Swords is the fact that because you're a very like quick person, because you're somebody who is intelligent at the same time, that kind of backs people off of you a little bit and keeps them from trying to mess with you emotionally, okay? So I definitely see here that you have a little bit of a slightly intimidating aura, not so much so that people try and stay away from you, but to the extent where they would think twice if they were trying to play games with you, okay? So then we have Freedom, we have Intention, we have Rebirth, as well as Partnership. So he sees you as somebody he could be in a partnership with, okay? We have love, we have this kind of like seductive energy from Temperance, as well as the Devil. So you're definitely kind of like, you know, the little like hot devil, so to say. Okay, that sounds really weird, Vanessa, why did you say that? But you get what I mean, like that person that is almost a little like too much of a temptation, that they feel might not like them back, or that they feel might not want to be with them in the long run. So what really worries them with you, how they see you, is as like this kind of like sex goddess, if you will, this sex god that they're afraid to get too close to because they don't want to get their feelings hurt. They don't want anything to resort in rejection, okay? And they feel as though you're the kind of person who maybe does not want a serious relationship. And one thing that I see here in Freedom is that they see you as very freedom loving. They see you as somebody who doesn't want to settle down, who doesn't want to put that commitment down to a point where you are able to be kept confined, say in a monogamous relationship. They definitely feel here that, you know, your intention is clearly on your goals. Your intention is clearly on your empire, on wanting to build your life the way you've always wanted it to be, and that your intentions are not on love right now. So they definitely feel as though a rebirth is something that you would have to like show them that you're capable of. You would have to show them a very different side of you in order for them to feel safe and to feel like you're not going to run off with somebody who is quote unquote better than them, or is just able to, how should I say, to be more seductive to you, okay? Because they find you physically, sexually so attractive, they're really afraid of rejection. They're really afraid of getting together with you because of the fact that they don't want to lose that. They don't want to fall in love and then get hurt. So it's not necessarily intimidation. It's more this fear of you finding somebody better. It's more them not feeling quite good enough for you. And they may show this in different ways. They may show this by being flaky. They may show this by, you know, not telling you how they feel, or kind of like fading in and out of the connection because they're not quite sure how to handle you and this situation. So they're a little confused as to what to do. They're a little shy to admit their feelings to you, but overall, I definitely see here that they see you as somebody who is goal-oriented, they see you as somebody who is very attractive, and somebody who has many options when it comes to love. So group number 1, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it. If you made it all the way to this point in the reading, make sure that you leave a little champagne bottle emoji down below, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Pyrite group number 2, and I want to do a quick close-up of this stone just to show you how gorgeous it is. It is also known as the Fool's Gold, and you can probably tell why, because it looks kind of like a stone made of gold, but not quite. It has a bit more of a cold kind of hue. So this is a stone that attracts abundance, okay, wealth and prosperity. That may be why you were drawn to this stone, but let's move straight into your reading to figure out how he sees you. So first and foremost, we have going forward. So it's very clear that he sees you as somebody who is very forward thinking, somebody who has a clear path that they're on and you're following it. And you may laugh to yourself and think, wow, like I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm just somehow doing life. But to them, it seems like you have a plan. To them, it seems like everything that you do is planned out in some way, shape, or form. Then we have the Magician as well as the Four of Pentacles. So one thing that I see here is that they feel like you're somebody like, what is it called? A jack of many trades or something? I'm not sure what it's called in English, but you know when you have a lot of different things that you're good at, a lot of different abilities, maybe you speak a whole whack of different languages. Depending on what it is that you're good at, you know, what the different hobbies or just skills are that you have, they definitely feel like those are very impressive, and like the more they get to know you, the more you show them just how many amazing things you're capable of doing. And in the Four of Pentacles, one thing that I see that he sees in you is the fact that you're a very like stable person. So you do like nice things, you do like to shop, etc., but at the same time they see that you're somebody who gets it, okay? Your priorities are in line. You will not just go and spend money to the point where it doesn't make sense. You know exactly when it's okay to spend a little bit of money, and at the same time, you're also sensible when you're like, okay, I gotta like save for my car, I gotta save for a house, so on and so forth. So they see you as being able to enjoy life, but also be kind of like realistic and down to earth, okay? In the Four of Pentacles, I see that they, she, he sees that you have a very grounded energy, very down to earth energy, which is something that they really like. In the Eight of Pentacles, one thing that I see here is that you're constantly trying to improve yourself, and they see that as well, and that is something that they really love and adore in you, okay? They love the fact that you're always trying to better yourself, that you're always trying to be a better version and do things in a more efficient way, and that is something that they most likely also are almost a little bit not jealous of, envious of, and they wish they had a bit more of that in them. Then we have the Lovers. So there's definitely a romantic interest here, group number 2. That may be something that you really wanted to hear, but that may also be something that you had feared. Either way, here in the Lovers, I definitely see that they see you as a great catch. They see you as somebody that they could be in a relationship with. And what other information do we have here? In the Ten of Swords, one thing that I see is that they're also really afraid, okay? In the Ten of Swords, I see that they're afraid that you might cheat. They're afraid that you might stab them in the back. Do you see that here? Do you see all of these knives in this person's back here with long red hair? Okay, they definitely feel as though they're not 100% sure if they can trust you, group number 2. And as I said, this is an honest reading, and I'm just gonna put it all out there for you. So there is romantic interest here. They see you as a grounded person, but they feel as though in love, they're a little bit afraid that something might go wrong. Then we have the Tower, okay? The Tower is another indication of the fact that this person sees you as maybe a little too good for them, okay? This person sees you as somebody who is valuable and somebody who they may fall in love with deeply, but then maybe also get hurt, okay? So I definitely see fear here when it comes to you. I definitely see that maybe who you were with prior to them, or if you've never been with anybody, the fact that, you know, you've always been single is something that scares them and is something that makes them feel like, oh my God, they really need to perform when it comes to you. Then we have Gateway. as well as action. So they see you as somebody who definitely loves to like take action, and you kind of form a gateway for other people to do the same. Okay, you're kind of like this amazing unicorn here, this amazing supernatural creature that has this energy of abundance, that has this energy of good fortune and luck, just as we spoke about in the Pyrite, the stone of your choice. And they feel as though you're the kind of person who is able to always move forward, always take action in an inspired way. And they feel as though maybe they could be left behind, okay? They feel as though maybe they're a little inferior when it comes to that, but that is something that they keep to themselves, that they would most likely never admit to you. Then we have rebirth as well as nature. So one thing that I see here in rebirth is the fact that they see you to be somebody who has gone through quite a transition, okay, through quite not only a rebirth but just a transformation. Okay, they see you as somebody who is able to now give life to your dreams, whereas before you were kind of afraid, you were kind of like a little bit more frail. So as a child or as a teenager, maybe even as an adult, you may have been bullied, you may have been put down, you may have been in abusive or toxic relationships, but you have truly blossomed from that into somebody who knows their value, which is most likely also why they're kind of afraid, because you know your value and they know that, okay, if they're not serious, if they kind of like screw things up, you're gonna be gone because you know your value. You've been there, done that. You don't need anybody who stabs you in the back anymore, okay? You don't need anybody who is anything less than real and honest and wanting to form a solid connection. Then in nature, last but not least, they see you as somebody who is very grounded. They see you as somebody who is able to connect with animals, with other human beings on a very basic level. So when you meet somebody, you have friends of all walks of life. You have friends of walks of life where they have struggled maybe with abuse, addiction, some sort of financial things, and you have people of walks of life who have been really in a prosperous place. And one thing that I see here is that that has shaped your reality to the point where he sees you as someone who can be friends with anyone and who accepts anyone. And that is one thing that gives him security. That is one thing that makes him think like, okay, if this is supposed to go into a romantic direction, at least I know that she will see me for who I am. And at least I know that he or she, they will realize my true intentions when the time comes for me to reveal those. But I definitely see that they're a little bit afraid here of your self-worth and the fact that you're somebody who didn't come to play. You're somebody who doesn't like wasting their time, and it can be intimidating to them. It can make them feel as though like, oh my God, I'm really afraid to screw this up, and I'm really afraid to just have things not work out, which can then make them a little bit complacent, which can cause inertia where they're just kind of like in the same spot because they're like shivering a little bit. But you get the gist, group number 2. So this is a reading that I received for you. This is how he sees you right now. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. If you did, you had nature in your reading, okay, make sure that you leave a little tree emoji down below to let me know that you made it all the way through your reading, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Rose Quartz, group number 3, and this is the stone of love, friendship, partnership, just that deep connection, okay? So you may have chosen the stone because of that, but I mean, who doesn't love a good rose quartz? Let's be real. But I want to move straight into your reading to figure out exactly how he sees you. So first and foremost, we have taking risks. So they see you as somebody who likes to take risks. They see you as somebody who is almost like a daredevil, someone who isn't afraid to try something new. And you may think to yourself, that is so wrong, but this is how they see you, okay? This is not how you see you. That's not what this video is about. So just sit back, group number 3, and relax, okay? This is about them. So one thing that I see here in taking risks as well as forgiveness is the fact that they see you as somebody who is not too afraid of just making mistakes because you're able to forgive yourself. You're able to say to yourself, hey, I tried, I took the leap, but it didn't work out, and that's just how it is. But it's no big deal. I can try again. I can take a leap elsewhere, and I will be able to soar eventually. I mean, whenever I make a mistake, that just means that I know what doesn't work. So they feel as though that is your kind of attitude, which is very refreshing in a world where people are basically being taught not to make mistakes. I mean, that is what the education system is all about. Not making mistakes, right? Memorizing things, writing them down in a test, saying exactly what you learned, and if you make a mistake, that brings your mark down, which means that we're always trained actually to make as little mistakes as possible. But you're completely different. You have developed into a free spirit who knows that making mistakes is an essential part of really being successful and being able to break the mold. And that is something that he, she, they see in you as well. And then we have a voyage as well as wonders. So this person definitely sees you as somebody who is like well-educated, well-traveled, someone who is able to like see beyond their own thought process and horizon, okay? And that is something that not a lot of people are capable of doing. A lot of people are constantly concerned with themselves, with first world problems, with things that are not really that deep. Meanwhile, you're the kind of person who can see beyond that and see just how much more meaning there is to thinking a little bit differently, to thinking a little more as, you know, a community in this world. Then in wonders, one thing that I see here is that they see you as somebody who is full of surprises, full of wonders, and just full of healing powers, okay? In wonders, we have this amazing crystal depicted here, and it just shows that you're the kind of person who emits an energy that is incomparable, okay? You cannot really compare it to another person. When you enter a room, you emit this very specific and personal energy of yours that other people can instantly recognize once they know you. Then we have the Two of Wands as well as the King of Cups. So in the King of Cups, one thing that I see regarding this energy in you that we were just speaking about is the fact that it is a very emotionally intelligent and mature energy. What is happening with the cards today? And we also have the Eight of Wands. And I see that the energy is very much focused on getting things done. This energy is very focused on action. And in the Two of Wands, I see that you are at the same time also balanced. So group number 3, you're okay. Like the cards are speaking for themselves. I don't even know why I'm doing anything anymore. We have the King of Wands. Okay, so in the Eight of Wands as well as the King of Wands, I see very fiery energy. I see the fact that you have that go-getter kind of passion within you that allows you to get things done. But in the Two of Wands, as I said, you still have that work-life balance. They see you as somebody who has together, who has their life. Was I supposed to say that? You're the kind of person who knows what they're doing, and you may not feel that way about yourself, but this is how they see you, okay? This is how he sees you. And he sees you as somebody who has a good head on their shoulders and someone who knows exactly what they're doing. So then we have delight, we have flow, as well as healer. And we already spoke about your healing abilities a little bit in wonders, but I want to get more into it as healer did show up within your reading. So one thing that I see here is the fact that he sees that you have a powerful healing gift. You're the kind of person that people like to go to feel uplifted, that people like to speak to whenever they feel down, okay? So you have this ability to be there for other people, to make them feel like they have a rock to lean on and to bring kind of delight back into their lives. You're the kind of person who always highlights the good, not the struggles, and you always expect the best. That is how he sees you. He sees you as being capable of expecting the best because you do put a lot of work into all of your ventures, but at the same time, you're also expecting the best for other people, and it just shows, you know, it shows that you care, it shows that you're there for others, and it shows that you are loyal. In flow, one thing that I see here is the fact that he sees in you that you're the kind of person who could do it the easier way, who could have things be a little bit more simple, but you choose the route that is a little bit more intricate, that is a little bit more adventurous, because you want to challenge yourself like that. You are not the person who settles for just mediocre. he or they or she sees in you that you're the kind of person who wants more out of life and who will get more out of life without hurting others though. There are a lot of people in this world, sadly, who want to get ahead, who want to make big sums of money, and they will sacrifice other people's well-being any day, any time, just to get an extra penny. But they don't see you as that kind of person. They see you as the kind of person who is caring, who will put somebody's well-being before a couple extra dollars or, you know, a little bit more of your paycheck. And you're just the kind of person that this world needs more of, that this world needs more of in control of large corporations as well as large financial sort of pots, because you know how to distribute it evenly, you know how to distribute it in a way how it is fair, and that is something that they see in you. Then we have power, truth, we have purification, as well as security. So one thing that I see here is definitely the fact that you're somebody who is very powerful, okay? You're somebody who to them can accomplish anything. And that is one thing that gives them security, okay? They feel as though, okay, no matter what happens, you are going to be fine. And anybody who may have been in a relationship with you, be it platonic, be it romantic, knows exactly that no matter what happens, you can fend for yourself. You're the kind of person who can take care of themselves when it comes down to, you know, life and death, when it comes down to sink and swim. So one thing that I see here, well, sink or swim, because you can't sink and swim, if you know what I mean. Then we have purification, which in purification, one thing that I see here is that he sees you as somebody who is almost like a little childlike sometimes, okay? So you have this childlike sense of wonderment where you can be super happy and really just into something really small and simple. Be it, for instance, a flower, be it, for instance, a rainy day wearing rain boots and jumping into puddles. It could also be just an apple, you know, where you're like, wow, this is such an intricate color, and you're just excited about the little things in life, and you show gratitude for the little things. The examples I mentioned are obviously just examples, but it just shows how you're grateful for every little thing, and it shows, it reflects in your personality, it reflects in how other people see you, group number 3. Then in truth, last but not least, one thing that I see is that they see you as somebody who is very truthful and somebody who is not afraid to hurt other people's feelings, if that means that you're capable of telling the truth. Because one thing that you're not going to do is lie in order to spare other people's feelings. I see that that is not how it goes here. I see that that is absolutely not you, and that can sometimes be a little bit scary because they're kind of afraid of what may come out of your mouth, group number 3. So they feel like they kind of want to be a little bit cautious emotionally because they don't want to get hurt, because you're this brutally honest person. So group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you. If you made it all the way to the end of your reading, make sure that you leave a little honey pot emoji down below in order to let me know, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Coffee Obsidian, group number 4. Let's do a little close-up just to show you this gorgeous stone a bit more up front. It is just really beautiful, so awesome choice, group number 4. This is a stone that kind of shows that you're energetic, that kind of shows that you're the kind of person who weighs their options, what they can do, and how big the risk is. And if the risk isn't too big, you're gonna go for it. But let's move further into your reading to figure out exactly how he sees you. So first and foremost, we have embracing. So one thing that I see here in embracing is the fact that they see you as somebody who embraces who they are, okay? You're not afraid to be yourself. You're not afraid to say what it is that you want, what you like, and what you don't like. And group number 4, leave a little rainbow emoji down below in the comment section just to let me know that this is a group that you chose, and just to show solidarity for all of those of us who embrace a side of ourselves, you know, be it sexuality, be it our differences in how we were born, looks-wise, our personality, and we put ourselves out there and we're okay with negativity, and also people who are out there who say to us, wow, thank you so much for inspiring me. So let's just show a little bit of appreciation for that side of ourselves, shall we? So I definitely see that this is something that he appreciates in you, the fact that you embrace yourself, you embrace others, and you're very open-minded. Then we have have security. So one thing that I see here that he sees in you is just somebody who has their stuff together, okay? You don't need anybody for financial support. First of all, you don't need a man. Group number 4, I just love that Rihanna gif where she says that. Yeah, you don't need anybody for financial gain. You don't need anybody for anything materialistic. When you want companionship because you value the person, because you value who you're with, and you find it to be a good match. And that is one thing that they respect in you. That is one thing that you automatically kind of like exude when you enter a room, and they can truly tell that when you are with somebody, whether they're wealthy or they're like absolutely not wealthy, it doesn't matter, because you're into the person, you're not into their belongings. Then we have power as well as flow. So group number 4, what I see here within your reading is the fact that you are very powerful and you embrace your own power. You do not let anybody dim your power, especially not if it is, you know, same sex, opposite sex, whoever it is that you want to be with. If they feel uncomfortable because you are going after your dreams, because you have big aspirations, because you're ready to conquer the world, for you, that is their problem, okay? So they see you as somebody who is powerful, who goes after what they want, and depending on who this person is, they might be intimidated by that, group number 4. So I just want to put that out there in case that is a feeling that you have already had with this person. This might confirm that part of how they feel about you. Then in flow, one thing that I see here is that he sees you as somebody who just likes to have things work out, okay? You're not the kind of person who's going to talk and discuss for hours about like some little minuscule decision. You're not somebody who thinks micromanaging is the way to go. You would rather have a big project be good and done on time rather than an excellent project that is way too late and nobody gets to see in the end. So let's move further into your reading. We have the 5 of Cups as well as the Knight of Cups. Okay, so we have a lot of cups here, and the cups correspond to a water sign. So this may make sense in correlation to your signs as well as their signs, his signs. One thing that I see here in the 5 of Cups is that he sees you as somebody who emotionally can be a little up and down, okay? So maybe you're low-key a little crazy, group number 4, not trying to be rude or anything, but one thing that I also see in the Knight of Cups is that they can tell that you're somebody who is basically just trying to serve your highest good. So whenever you're going through a rough patch, you're going through an emotional up and down, it is because you're trying to make something of yourself, you're trying to make something of the possibilities that are in your life, and it's important for you to go after them. It's important for you to make sure that you make the most out of every situation, and sometimes it can get to you. Sometimes it can be really difficult. It could also be that you're battling with some sort of mental illness, and it is something that they can low-key feel. It is something that they can low-key sense, either because they know about it, or as I said, they can sense it, or they have gone through a situation like that themselves, so they know what to look out for. And then we have the Tower as well as the 4 of Pentacles. So I definitely see here that they find you to be somebody who is kind of impulsive, who is kind of very spontaneous. So you may think to yourself, I am literally the least spontaneous person. I would schedule my bathroom visits if I could. So you may think that to yourself, as I can see in the 4 of Pentacles, that you're very grounded, you're the kind of person who likes to have things in a specific way or order, who likes to have certain things in life in a way how you feel secure. So this may be completely strange to you, okay? But he sees you as somebody who is spontaneous and who is up for anything. And this may just be also you know, when you just enter a new relationship and it seems like a fun idea to act like you're spontaneous, but really you just cannot wait for Netflix and chill evenings to start. So group number 4, I definitely see that that is how he sees you right now, but of course, you know, those things can kind of change over time. Then we have the High Priestess as well as the Hierophant. So he sees you as somebody who is very spiritual, as somebody who is very much a believer in different energies and different entities, and is able to also inspire others to do the same. And the High Priestess, I see that you're the kind of person who knows the difference between heart and logic, and other people can tell that when it's the right time, you follow your heart, but when there is no time for error, you are highly logical, and you will basically, like, if somebody is crying because you're telling them the truth, you're not going to feel bad because you told them the truth, you didn't lie. And that's just how it is, group number 4. Like, you're somebody who, when you have an opinion, you're going to say how it is if you are asked, okay? You're not the kind of person who just throws it in there just because or wants to hurt other people. But if it then hurts other people, like, to you, that is up to them. And they feel like you're somebody who is very strong. They feel like you're somebody who has a good feel for who is a good friend, who is a loyal person, and who isn't, okay? So you can discern between honest people and people who are just full of, you know, the poo-poo. Then we have sanctuary, awareness, as well as balance. So he sees you as somebody who is very balanced. He sees you as somebody who is almost like a sanctuary, okay? You're the kind of person where when they're with you, they feel like they're away from the outside world. They feel as though they can turn off their phone. They don't need to be reachable and accessible to everybody around them. They feel as though you're the kind of person who just almost feels like a fresh breeze and a meditation session. Being with you is to them equivalent like meditating. They feel like they're back into their personal equilibrium. They feel like their balance has been restored. So you're the kind of person that other people like to tank up energy from, which I want you to be very careful, group number 4, who you surround yourself with, because there are some energy vampires out there. There are plenty of stories that I could tell, but let's not go into that. You know exactly what I mean. So in awareness, one thing that I see here is that they really appreciate in you that you live in the moment, okay? He sees you as somebody who loves living in the moment, who loves embracing themselves and others to have those memories. The most important thing to you is not material things. It's really memories that you can hold on to forever, and that just like allow you to remember things in a positive light always. Furthermore, one thing that I see here is the fact that he sees you as somebody who is very conscious of your surrounding and your thoughts. You're somebody who is mindful, who is thoughtful, and therefore also wise. So he sees you as a mature and wise person, and he can sometimes feel as though maybe he's not quite ready to be with you. Maybe he's not quite at the point where you two would mesh, just because mentally, you're way older than your age, okay? You're an old soul, and it just oozes right out of you, and that may be something that makes other people feel insecure when they're around you. So I just want you to be aware of that, group number 4. So this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what really hit home for you and your person in question, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos.